you don't mind, I'm going to record this because I'm going to do a walkthrough with you.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Let's start up at the front there and I'll show you what we have done. And it's a Pearson 365, which I guess means 36.5 feet. And I'm told that it draws 4.5 feet, but extra anchors and 300 feet of road, not chain, but chain and whatever you call that, rope. I have this and I've got the handle for that. And I took this off and jerry rigged it so I could have each one kind of separate going out. I haven't got around to dividing it. And when I got the boat, this was all rust, and I haven't found any soft spots, but because it sat for 15 years up the river here, yeah, look like it, but I've, yeah, whisker pole, yeah, right to here.
Oh.
That's where you hook it up and you can put it.
It doesn't, you know, when you lose the wind a little bit, it doesn't start flapping.
Got stuff from them, and I got a good deal on that, and it's strong enough, but it doesn't, the color faded out. Which was okay with me because it was really a bright yellow. I mean, it was obnoxious. I do have an old sail cover for this, but I put this on wanting to, I had some extra stuff, wanting to make one of those sail covers that go around the bottom so you can leave the sail cover there, you know, and pull it in and out of where that is.
Yeah.
You got lazy jacks?
Yep, but those are new. Those are all rotten when I got the boat. Sails are medium, yeah. Just you won't cry if you rip them out, but they're not ripped up or anything. Just, but they were. It's really interesting. See that bimini top?
Yeah.
That was stored. All the sails were stored. I've got a Dodger that was stored for the last 15 years, and I think most of that stuff was pretty new when they brought it over from. So you got to do what you can do when you can do it.
That's right. That's what we say.
That's what we keep saying. Yeah.
Exactly. Self-tailing.
Nice Lumar winches.
Yeah, they're really nice. This is new. I just got that in not too long ago. It might be a little small for gripping, but it's plenty strong. Got more winches around here.
Yeah, you got a lot of them. That's good.
But these are my new batteries down here. I got 2 big house batteries I've gotten from Sam's, and that's been about a year ago. And then I've got 1 starter battery that's about a week old. And back here in this lazarette, we have the propane and the gas for the little engine. That's a 2.5 horse, I think.
Oh, okay. Comes with a dinghy?
Yeah. It's got to have a ladder. That's the first thing. I've sailed enough to know, and I've read enough things about people jumping off, boat people jumping off, and not have a ladder, and they can't get back on. You know, I've kept this since I've got it, the teak oiled, but that was gone.
Did they take this?
I think the
wood,
teak,
the
see the
teak
wood
that-
on that side?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Got teak on that side, which is old, but it has come back pretty good, and then that side.
Oh, I see.
But when people are coming up in back of you, you can see who's coming up in back of you.
Oh yeah, you got rear view mirrors.
Yeah. You can appreciate that when somebody comes up and scares you, come zooming by you. And this is the other lazarette. That's the hot water heater. Okay. It's heated with the engine, and that does a real good job. And what else? I forget what else is there.
But heats only with the engine. There's no electric.
On that side, up underneath, you can't see it, is the compressor for the refrigeration, and that can work off the batteries.
Okay.
And then all the way up that end is, in that same lazarette, is a battery charger that when you're hooked up to shore power, once you get it hooked up to the, is there. And then down here, up underneath there, is a compressor for the air conditioning.
There's air conditioning? Cool.
But the air conditioning can only work with shore power. Or if you had a generator, you put it on. But it's a catch rig, and so it's got 2 masts, which is really easy to handle. The whole thing.
You get in heavy winds,
you can drop your main sail and just run the front and the back, and I've been on some pretty good winds with that, and it's no problem at all. We do have a radar, old radar, and it was working, and it wasn't working, and then it wasn't. I get confused. And But I did pick up a little fish finder because I hate to run aground and not know it. Now I know it when I run aground.
Where's your?
And
You can't get stopped.
I have to mention this. My brother-in-law did the doors and the wood. Well, the thing I love about this boat is you can stand up in it.
This
You
is
know.
our first time in a Pearson.
Okay. Well,
Fortunately, our boat we can actually stand up in. Oh, nice
Yeah, we
floors.
can.
What are these, holly?
yeah, but that was one of the problems. The floor really needs to be redone there. But if you look right there, you see where the water line came up to. And I think somebody had left the hatch open for a year or so. But this is down below here is the bilge for the shower.
Oh, okay.
That's a bilge pump for the shower, and I'll show you where it turns
So the
on.
shower drains into there? and
No,
then it pumps?
no. That's just from.
Oh, I see.
We've had a lot of rain in it, and that's why everything down there should be built up, because it's got the bilge down there.
You don't have opening port lights here.
Not there. The only opening one is the bathroom one. And then down here is the main bilge. This is the main bilge here.
Okay.
That's the V drive.
Right.
Now, remember, anything underneath that line is suspect. There was water over it. I have drained it several times, put new fluid in it, and it seems to be working fine. This is the turn on for your engine, right there.
Yeah.
And this is a strainer for it here,
Okay.
which is really strange because...
Is that where your raw water pump is also on the V drive? I mean, what does it go through the V drive?
It cools it.
Oh, it's for cooling.
Yeah, just for cooling. Yeah, and then this one over here is for the air conditioner, and that's got a through hole fitting for that.
Is there a here too?
Yeah, it's a reverse cycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Air conditioner. Yeah, when it was hooked up the river there, when I was checking it out and this and that, anything, it did have shore power, and a guy was helping me. We went through a bunch of the systems. Not that they might still be working, but anyway, they were working. The air conditioner was working. Here's something that you don't find very often either: dehumidifier.
Oh, wow.
But that works off your shore power.
Your prop seal is working good
Yeah,
and everything?
yeah, no problem there. Bilge pump up there, and then the automatic one on down here. Now this little reservoir here is under this because evidently they're notorious for dripping oil, so that's a separate one, so it catches.
Okay. Oh, that's a water strainer there?
Yeah, that's your main water strainer right there.
And what do these wires go to?
Grounding wires.
Oh, okay.
Just face it. Drove down there, ran my hand across. It crossed it, but it was in fresh water. There's no barnacles or anything on it.
How long has it been since it was hauled out?
Let's see. I've had it 2 years, 17 years.
Oh, wow.
but in fresh water all the time.
Right.
You know.
Oh, that's the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
your
okay.
refrigerator. There's your cold plates. There's your stock of root beer. I mean, my stock of root beer and Vienna sausage, and you see we eat
Boat
high on
food.
spam.
Boat food.
Gotta
We
have
call it boat
spam.
food. That's right.
Old boat food.
Boat food.
Stuff you wouldn't eat at home.
Sardines and-
Stuff you wouldn't eat
Stuff
at
you'd
home.
never eat at home.
But
that's right.
you know, out here.
All the fun stuff.
And then you have storage up here for your plates, and it's got some nice plates with the
Oh, Dee Dee's got more boat plates than anybody.
the bottom rings on them. Storage here, and then you got this. This flips up and flips
Oh, and you
down,
got 3 burners.
and 3 burners and a
And
stove,
a stove.
and it works. Well, it doesn't have an automatic lighter, so you have to use
That's
that.
how ours is.
Your LP gas to turn it on.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and it's got a thing up there, a safety thing. So, and it's got a place to turn on over here on the panel too. So you'd have to turn it on there. I turn it on there.
You got your radios.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a tape deck.
Yeah, that's just a regular radio there. The tape deck doesn't work, but the other one is a VHS.
Okay.
And then this checks your batteries, but it's missing the little thing that goes up there, so you kind of have to guess what it's doing. And then this is the bilge pump, and you can hear it running. And you have plenty of storage down here, and more storage on over here. The biggest problem is checking the oil. Now there's a little port down under. I just put all this stuff in here so it didn't look like a guy's place, but anyway, there's a little place in there you have to reach in, pull the stick for to check the. I believe it's a 40 horse Westerbeek engine.
Okay.
And pretty straightforward.
And you can get down through the lazarette there,
Yeah,
or the
both
the
sides.
locker. You can
Right.
get access to the front of the engine. So,
Right.
what that is?
Yeah, they do come with a galvanized fuel tank, which has been replaced with an aluminum fuel tank. So that's an upgrade.
Oh, it has been replaced.
Yes. One thing I did do was on that side there's an L that I replaced, which was a mother, and it's for the exhaust where your water goes, your little water tube goes in. So that's new, and this is your pump for your air conditioning.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your freshwater pump for your, raw water pump for your air conditioning. Okay, moving right along, we've got the nav station over here. We've got the nice chart table. Oh, it's loaded down with stuff.
Oh, but it lifts up. For your
Yeah, it
pens
lifts
or
up so
whatever
you can
for
get
your
into
gadgets.
there.
Okay.
I do have I think it's a leak along the, I put a piece of wood along there and I didn't caulk it with the right stuff. And so I put that in there to catch any water. Of course, it would drain down to the bilge anyway, so it's not hurting anything. This is the controls for all the things that used to be the radar and this is my trash can.
No, this thing.
All that.
It's a,
That's the
the
radar.
radar.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the radar. Like I said, it turns on, but it's not showing.
Not sweeping.
It's not sweeping. Yeah. Add to some electronics. There's a little GPS, and there's a little fish finder that I use. Nothing fancy. And all this stuff will come with the boat. That's the
is that a
tank,
scuba tank?
scuba tank, and there is
You got other
40
scuba stuff?
40 foot of line, so you don't have to put the scuba tank on your back.
Cool.
So you can go down and cut whatever rope gets tangled into your prop with no problem. But we got nice
plenty
storage, yeah, plenty of storage, electrical
This
down
one
there.
has not a ribbon off of the back.
Then I got plenty of these seats. The cushions are in pretty good shape. That, like I said, they were stored inside.
Oh.
And the water tanks, you got two water tanks, one below there, 60 gallon or 50 gallon, and one below here, 50 or 60 gallons. And they have, where you can fill them from up top.
There's no table that comes out.
Oh yeah,
Oh, there is a table.
oh yeah, real nice.
Oh, I couldn't see
Real
it.
nice
Oh,
table there.
okay. Yeah.
Flips down and
I
flips
see.
up,
Neato.
and it's got an extra thing to go. And these pull out, so they're wider than that.
So you got
for-
berth here and
yeah,
berth
And
a
a
berth
berth
over-
there, and
and-
then I think you have. Is this a berth too?
This is a berth up here, so if
Yeah,
I didn't have
thought
all
it
this,
was.
and it's
I
really
thought so.
long. My daughter's like 6'3" or something like that, and she and her son got up there. Oh, this has
Wow.
got a lot of room, Dad. Yeah, okay. We got more storage in both of those.
Yeah, well, whatever works. Very
And then this is, I think, the return air. This is the return air for the air conditioning. We got there again, plenty of storage, and there and there and there. And the bathroom is the neat thing.
Yeah, I took a peek already. Did
Did
you
I?
check it out?
Yeah, I
I
saw
think
it.
you did.
A lot of people love this, and the fact that it has its own shower,
I think that's great.
and that was the pump down there that you saw, and this is the
Right.
that turns on, but it doesn't turn on and off unless your pressure water is
Okay.
turned on, and then it has its own stuff in here. Yeah. We have the B berth up here. It's just the normal B berth, and there's the chain locker with the rope kind of falling out of it. Underneath this side is this
Storage.
is gray water storage.
Okay.
Yeah, and
How big? Do you know how big that tank is?
it's probably 15 gallons, maybe.
Okay.
And we have a radar thing to put up for radar there. Plenty of, we got. Yeah, you can see that it's pretty well.
Yeah.
But the mask itself seems to be okay. But
Not too bad. Yeah.
But it
The
just
step is all right.
it's just ridiculous. These smart guys would put cast iron down in the bilge. The hatches, they just lock up, one side of
Oh,
these
these.
hatches. One
Yeah.
side works. and one side locks, and so it's enough to secure it. But you know, it's
Have you looked at the chain plates at all? Are they?
I have not. I have not.
The rigging looks surprisingly new, you know, considering its age. I mean, I don't see any corrosion on
Well,
it.
probably no corrosion on it because when I got the boat, it was completely covered with moss. Yeah, my daughters love this kitchen because one person, everything is within reach, you know.
Yeah.
Big nice cocktail, huh?
It is. I think they call it an 8-foot.
Ours, we have to squeeze around the wheel. So this mast is deck stepped here. Is that where the step is? I would imagine otherwise it go through the engine.
Right. Yeah. There's a cross member there.
This is a lot of boat.
It is a lot of boat. But I mean, you know, if you're going to live on board, you need a lot of boat.
Well, this is the emergency tiller that opens up, and the emergency tiller is down below there. So if something happens to all this, that's direct.
Yeah. The skeg.
The skag is not hanging down by itself.
Right.
So you can run over crab traps and this and that, and it just go right on down
I like
there.
that this is very shoal draft for a boat this size.
Yeah.
4.5 feet is a boat.
Question.
Johnson. I can see
This
it
Okay.
through the
Johnson?
cover.
To Johnson, yeah. But it has a long shaft, which
Yeah, I've
would,
got
which, you know, if you looked at my dinghy, I had to extend that up so it wasn't. I probably didn't have to, but just in case I wanted to run into shallower
I've got a
water.
long